Hey VC, it's Chad. I am back with a new video, and actually it's not a vinyl update. It's actually going to be kind of a spotlight type video on an artist, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a few of these here and there on different bands that people may not know of or not hear a whole lot about, and who are really good and everything. So I was like, I want to get their name out on some of these bands, and so this one, as I promised in the last video, is going to be on Hank Williams III. He is the obviously the son of Hank Jr. and grandson of Hank Sr. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of go really over the music. I won't go over too much of his history and that kind of stuff. That's what Google's for. You can Google. You can pick up his merchandise and read bios, that kind of stuff on hank3.com. And you can also check out tons of video footage here on YouTube. So anyway, I won't get into any of the controversy or any of that kind of stuff, his personal stuff. We're just going to kind of talk about music. I'm going to show all of his Hank 3 CDs and vinyl. I'll be showing the different side projects he's been in, and a couple of DVDs that he's in. And I think if we have time, I got some autograph pieces and stuff when I met him. So anyway, let's just dive right in. So probably, gosh, back in 1999, 2000, probably around 2000, I guess it was, I had heard about him through another band. Usually when I buy CDs or vinyl, I'm kind of a nerd, and I read all the liner notes and all the thank yous and that kind of stuff. And usually that's kind of how I get an idea of some different bands, different people to listen to, and kind of see who their influences were and this and that. And there was a particular band who the lead singer is always thanking Hank 3. In fact, he has a Hank 3 tattoo on his neck and stuff. And he was a local guy, and so I always talked about it. So I was like, you know, I'm going to check this guy out. So I don't know, around 2002, I finally picked up some stuff, picked up a CD, and it was okay. It was good. Not really a country guy, so it kind of, you know, it was okay. It didn't really do a whole lot for me at the time. But a little bit later, several months down the line, I put it back in, and I guess I had the right state of mind because I kind of got into it and really started liking it. And from that time, probably around 2002, until currently, I've been a huge fan. I buy everything I can find of his, music-wise. Like I said, I have all the CDs and stuff and some vinyl, and then I have a stack of, like, I guess, bootleg stuff, which I won't show because all it is just CDRs with, you know, live footage, and it just has the date on there, so nothing really to show there. Anyway, so we'll kind of go into it now. He released his first album in 1999 on Curb Records, and it's called Rising Outlaw. You'll kind of notice the progression of his look as we move along through the CDs. This CD, to be honest with you, was the second one I purchased. It's okay, very traditional. Kind of reminds me of his grandfather. Like I said, it's good. The only standout track that I really liked on here was Cocaine Blues, which was a Johnny Cash cover. And the rest of the tracks, like I said, are okay, but not one of my favorites. The first CD I picked up, which is actually his second CD, which is Love Sick, Broken, and Driftin'. And this one has some great standout tracks. The Broke, Love Sick, and Driftin' song, Cecil Brown, Mississippi Mud, Whiskey, Weed, and Women. And probably my favorite on this CD would be Trashville. And so, anyway, that's his second CD. Like I said, I really liked him, but wasn't a huge fan at that time. When this next CD came out, I picked it up. It's called Straight From Hell. This is what really converted me. Absolutely love this CD. It's a double CD. And every single song on here I love. Every single one. To me, there's not a bad track on here. Starting off with Straight to Hell. I love that song. Country Heroes. D. Ray White. Lowdown. They did a cover of Pills I Took. My Drinking Problem. And anyway, excellent CD. In fact, if you have not heard Hank 3, and if you were to pick up something, I would probably start with this CD. I really would. Like I said, just absolutely love the CD. A few years ago, I actually have the first 3 CDs. And a few years ago, Best Buy, and I think some other record stores actually had a collector's tin that came out that had the first 3 CDs in it. So I bought that, even though I already had the first 3, just because it was Hank 3. So, moving right along, let's see, in 2008, he released Damn Right, Rebel Proud. Another really good CD. The standouts on this one, probably Me and My Friends, 6-Pack of Beer, let's see, Stoned and Alone, PFF, and Working Man. Another good one. And then in 2010, I believe, yes, he released Rebel Within. Another standout album, very good. Pretty much on this one is another one that I really liked every track on here. Getting Drunk and Falling Down. Rebel Within is probably my favorite actual song on here. Drinking Ain't Hard to Do. Moonshiner's Life. Tore Up and Loud. And Drinking Over Mama. I mean, another great CD. About the same time he released this last CD, he also put out his first official CD of like his hard rock, punks type stuff called Ass Jack. And here's the CD. And I will show you the cover of this. Actually, my cover is signed in a frame, so that's why there's not a cover for this on the CD. When he plays live, he does about an hour or so of his country stuff. And then he does another hour or so of like hard rock metal covers and then some of his own songs. And this was the first release, official release of his hard rock punk stuff. He actually had 3 bootlegs that he'd actually sell at the show that were CDRs, which I have copies of those, but I do not have the official bootleg that he sold and everything at the show yet. Still trying to find copies of those. Anyway, really good stuff, really good hard rock, punk stuff. Then we're moving right along to, I believe 2011, let's see what year this was. My years all kind of run together. I believe it's 2011. Anyway, he got away from Curb Records, which they had a battle back and forth for years, and so now he's finally is on his own label, which is Hank 3 Records. And that year, he actually put out 4 CDs at one time, and they were all different. He put out a double CD, and it's Ghost to a Ghost and Gutter Town. And this was his country release that came out. Then he released a doom metal CD, which I absolutely love this CD. It's called Attention Deficit Domination. And this is another CD that it's doom metal and every song is good. There's not a bad track on here. And it's kind of cool because when he recorded the album and then I saw him on this tour, the amps and that kind of stuff he used were actually the amps that the band Sleep recorded their album and toured with. So it was very cool to see that. And on the same day, he also released his 3-bar ranch, and it's called Cattle Callin'. And this CD is a bit annoying. What it is him playing like speed metal with a cattle caller in the background. You know, if you don't know what that is, you know, it's when they do an auctioneer type stuff, and so he's playing speed metal with this auctioneer in the background. So it's a little odd. I don't know. I've listened to this CD all the way through. It's alright, I guess, to an extent, but it gets annoying after 2 or 3 songs. I guess it was better when I saw him live. He actually did some of these songs in live. I guess it was a little bit better, but the CD was a little bit annoying. So, that is his basic catalog right there that you can pick up. He also has, when him and Curb Records actually split, they still own some, I guess, owned some of his music and stuff, and so they actually released 2 CDs that, from my understanding, he didn't make any money off of, and that Curb just released on their own that he wasn't real pleased with. But it is Hank 3, Hillbilly Joker. And this is basically some more like Ash Jack songs that have not been released. And they did the same thing with Long Gone Daddy, which is another stuff that hasn't been released off the, I believe, the first couple of records, kind of like leftover tracks or whatever. And they, I mean, they're okay. Like I say, if you like the first couple of records, but I picked it up just because it's Hank 3. And while we're still just talking about the Hank 3 solo stuff, I actually have 2 records. I have Hank 3's Rebel Within on vinyl. It's colored vinyl. And I actually have never opened this one. It actually has been on in a record frame on the wall. So, and I have it on CD, so I didn't really feel like I needed to open the vinyl on this. And I also have Hank 3's Damn Right Rebel Proud on vinyl. Sorry about the glare there. It's a real nice gatefold. And it's a 2 LP set on colored vinyl. Really nice blue vinyl with a little bit of black, kind of marbling type stuff in there. I had these 2 on vinyl, still looking for the rest on vinyl, just haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. Alright. Moving right along. He also does different side projects with Phil Anselmo from Pantera Down, that kind of stuff. He did 2 CDs with a band called Superjoint Ritual. Here is Use Once and Destroy, their first CD. And their second one, which is A Lethal Dose of American Hatred. And he played on both of those. And then he's in another band with Phil Anselmo and Mike, what is his name? Mike Williams from I Hate God. And it's the Arson Anthem. And this is their full-length CD, which is kind of, I'd call it really like hardcore type punk inspired. It has like 17 songs on it, and the CD's probably like 30 minutes or less, so they're real fast punk rock type songs with a heavy edge. They actually have an EP they put out before this, which for some reason I have not picked up, but I will soon, I'm sure. Next up is Superjoint Ritual. They did live in Dallas, Texas in 2002 DVD. And there is one more Superjoint DVD I'm missing, but again, it's on my list to be picked up, so hopefully I'll get it for too long. Also, he was involved in a movie project called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. He actually performed some songs for the movie. And this is kind of a documentary, well, it is a documentary of the Whites of West Virginia, which is D. Ray White, which is on Straight to Hell. He did a song about the family. He was a outlaw tap dancer type guy, and so and then his son Jesco White kind of followed in his dad's footsteps, and so they kind of followed the family. If you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend it because it is crazy, absolutely crazy. This family. So again, it's the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. I actually picked up this copy, but I saw the original on Netflix on the streaming part. So if you have Netflix, you can pick this. You can watch this movie. Absolutely crazy. All right. Let's see. Next, I'll show a few autograph pieces. I'll tell you a funny story. Actually, when I went and saw him, I believe 2011. When I saw him, yeah, 2011. he played in a small club in Fort Worth, and my wife and I drove up to Fort Worth, spent the day messing around and doing a little record shopping, that kind of stuff. And I wasn't sure where the club was exactly, so after we ate lunch, we decided we'd go by the club to because we knew how to get there and stuff that evening, because it was just Hank playing, and he actually played 3.5 hours or more. And so anyway, we drove by to see where the club was and everything. So we get to drive by the club. Well, there's his bus and everything sitting out front, and so I pull around the club and see that, and I really, really wanted to meet the guy, and so I pull the car around, and I see the bus, and I'm going to get out and see if I can knock on the bus door. I know it sounds crazy, and see if I can get an autograph or whatever. Well, my wife was like, "Don't bother him, da-da-da," and so I didn't end up doing that. And so when the show started, we met a couple of our friends up there, and it was real funny because he had said the same thing. He came by the club, saw the bus, was going to get out, and also try to meet Hank, and his girlfriend also would not let him get out of the car. So we kind of laughed about that. We thought that was kind of funny that we both wanted to meet him and knock on his bus door, but neither one of us did. But he played a great show. Started off, did an hour of country music, did an hour of his, what they call kind of like hellbilly music, which is his punk rock, ass jack type stuff. He did another hour or so of his doom metal stuff off this CD. And then he finished off with the 3-bar ranch cattle calling stuff. The man put on a great show. He really did. If you get a chance to see him, it's definitely worth the money. I think I paid maybe $20 to see him, and like I said, there was no opening band. It was just him, 3.5+ hours. He played straight through, no intermission really or anything. It was just boom, boom, boom. And so, anyway, when the show was over, I was up next to the stage there, and he actually jumped over the railing and took pictures with everybody, signed everything anybody wanted signed, visited with everybody. Super, super nice guy. I thought it was great. Like I said, I got to meet him and get some autographs, and so, like I said, I couldn't say enough nice things about him because he really was super nice. And so, here's kind of a flyer for the show, and then my printed ticket stub, which you can kind of see that he signed for me. And then I also got the cover of my Ass Jack CD signed, which you can kind of see there. And then I just picked up a sticker from the concert and added another side of the frame. So, anyway, like I said, great guy. Real excited to get to meet him and get some stuff signed. One other thing I had signed, not that night, but I actually have, is which is signed by him, is a signed group shot of Superjoint Ritual, all the guys. Kind of hard to see because the picture's dark, and they actually signed everything in like a black marker, so it's kind of hard to see. But anyway, that pretty much wraps up all the Hank 3 stuff. Like I said, I really recommend listening, checking him out. He has, it's very diverse, everything from country to metal to punk rock to stoner metal. I mean, his, he plays all different kinds. He plays all different instruments, not just the guitar, and sings. Actually, I believe on this album, I believe he even played the drums and everything on it too. Let's see. Yeah, I believe he played everything on here. So, yeah, he did play the drums. Played every instrument on here. So he's a very talented guy. So anyway, like I said, go check him out. Hit it over here on YouTube. You can type him in and see all kinds of cool live footage. In fact, you can see the show from Fort Worth from 2011. I think the whole show was actually on YouTube where I was at. So anyway, that concludes this on Hank 3. And so my next video that I do, kind of spotlighting a band, is going to be a band. It's a local band, and they're called Pimpadelic. They've been around for, gosh, 10, 12 more years. And so anyway, they're kind of local. And so, but they got a bunch of CDs out, a bunch of music. Seen them in concert probably 10+ times. So thought I'd kind of discuss them, kind of get the name out, get the word out on their name and the band. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.